In this lesson, we are going to discuss distributing your Canvas app and making it available to people within your organization. We'll learn some features of how and where you can distribute your apps, which is tied into understanding how you can access the apps that have been shared with you. We've seen already that sharing your app is a relatively simple process. Go to the app, select share. In our case, we use the classic sharing option. You put in the name or the Active Directory user group associated with that individual. And in the context of apps with a Dataverse database backend, we would also select a security group. Once this has been done, you can then move on to being able to access your app. For some people, simply navigating to make.powerapps.com is enough for them to be able to access the apps that they need. And if you do this and select on apps, you can view all the apps that have been shared or created by you. In addition to this, you can download the Power Apps app that is available in your App Store. Bear in mind, the smaller the form factor, whether it's a mobile or tablet, may affect how easy it is to use your app. And very often, apps are built with a specific form factor in mind. So far with the apps we've been creating, we are anticipating desktop users of our app. However, it's likely that it will be simple enough to use on a tablet. Microsoft Teams is a very popular place to make apps available to your organization, and it's very simple to add a Canvas app to a Teams channel, and we'll see that later. There are other ways to embed a Canvas app within the Microsoft 365 experience, and that could be either Power BI, model-driven apps, or in SharePoint. Let's move on to a demonstration of the distribution experience. Many users will start from the Microsoft 365 experience. In this area, you can head up to the waffle. You'll see all of the apps available to you. If you don't see the app that you're looking for, you can always search for it in the search bar, or you can come out and go to All Apps. And if you select All Apps again, you can scroll down to Power Apps. If we select this, it will take us to one of our environments. And if we select on apps, you'll see all of the apps you have the ability to edit. And selecting shared with me, you can see all the apps that you didn't create but have been shared with you. And all apps shows both categories. And for apps that have been shared with you, you can select the three dots and then play. And you can start interacting with your app as normal. I can check out a book, and the app updates as expected. But what if we don't want them to go through quite so many clicks in order to get to this app? What can we do? In this case, as an owner of the app, I can go to Solutions, onto the School Library solution, head up to My Apps. I'm going to go to the completed My Library Manager Canvas app with modern controls, select the three dots, and then go to Details. I can take a copy of the web link and send this to my colleague. Bear in mind, the app still needs to be shared with them, and the data needs to be shared with them. And at this point, they can either select the URL or they can paste it into their web browser. Remember, we can change this URL and make it add and hide navbar equals true in order to hide the banner at the top. I've added this and I can select enter. And the navigation bar at the top disappears. I'm now in the General tab of my Power Chats team within my own tenant. And this is because Teams is not available within the Power Up tenant. I'd like to add a tab into this, and I want it to show one of the apps that I've been building. I can select the Add a tab, I can select on Power Apps. I've searched for the completed My Library Manager app, and I can see that it exists within my sandbox environment. I'm going to select this and then save. And this app will now render in the context of Microsoft Teams. And remember, you'll still need to share the app and you'll still need to share the data. Another way of making an app available to your users is by putting it onto a SharePoint site. In order to get there, I'm going to select my apps and then SharePoint. Note that PowerUp tenant users don't have access to SharePoint, so this won't be available to you. I'm going to select on the Course Demos site, and I'd like to edit this page. Select Edit. I'm going to add another web part. I can search for Power Apps. Select on Power Apps, and then add an app. We can use the URL that we found when we looked at the details for the app and paste this in. And our app renders beautifully in this area. I can select Republish. And this app is available for users of this site. And remember, you'll still need to share the data and the app with those users, which is generally speaking why you share apps with groups, because you can share the app with the group, the data with the group, and you can even share the SharePoint site with the group. In this lesson, we've seen that there are a range of ways of distributing your Canvas apps, and we saw how easy it was to do it within the context of both Microsoft Teams and with SharePoint. I'll see you in the next video.